Let's hear a little from Jalen Hurts from after last night's game. He does take some of the blame for where the offense is, but let's listen, let's study, let's watch the demeanor, let's look for any cues, any tells that may give us a glimpse inside the blender.
I got to be better. Got to be better. I take ownership for it. You know, a lot of autonomy, a lot of opportunity there with the ball in my hands, and given those situations, I have to be wiser and more detailed with it. So always looking inward first, looking inward on the things that I can control. And, I see a lot of opportunity in this. I give a lot of credit to how they came out and played today. They played a very, 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 very well game. And wasn't good enough on our end.
Okay, two things. One, when you say I look inward and control what I can control, you're the quarterback. Like, part of the job is to control things that you can't control. Part of the things is to exert influence over those around you and hold them to a standard. And it may just be a leadership style thing. Like, some people, when I've been in positions of management, even now, like, I don't like to tell people what to do. I set an example, and they either follow or they don't. That's up to them. Some people don't want to be in your face. They don't want to be the Peyton Manning sheriff. They aren't wired to be that. And it may just be that Jalen Hurts' attitude is, I know how to take care of my stuff, and if you don't know how to take care of your stuff, I don't know what to tell you, because it ain't for me to tell a grown man how to handle his business. That may be his attitude. That's my attitude. It's not for me to tell a grown man how to handle his business. If he can't figure it out on his own, then, we tell him today. We're going to have to tell him again next week. We're going to have to tell him the light's not going to come on if the light isn't already on. And maybe that's his attitude, that these issues, these problems, these challenges, even though other quarterbacks would say, I'm going to try to fix this because it's affecting me, Jalen Hurts may be content to say, I'm going to go about my business and I'm going to look inwardly and I'm going to come up with ways to fix myself. And it's for everyone else to do the same. And I'm not going to tell them they need to figure it out.
That may be it. But some of these quarterbacks, you mentioned Peyton Manning, Tom Brady was like this too. They would say, no, I'm not going to tell a grown man how to handle his business. I'm going to tell a grown man how to handle my business. This is how I want it done. Okay? Yeah. This is how I want it done. And if you don't do it this way, I'm not going to throw you the ball. So I remember Brady's receivers used to say when, whether it was Charlie Weiss as the offensive coordinator or Josh McDaniels after Weiss, they would say, we're not running. Charlie is very detailed or Josh is very detailed about what the route should be. But we're not running the routes for Charlie Weiss or for Josh McDaniels. We're running it for Tom Brady. Because Brady would say, no, I want it done like this. When I call it, this is what I expect, and this is where I expect you to be. And he would take guys after practice. And one time it was crazy because he was slow. Brady is slow. He would be the first one to tell you. At times, he would run the routes after practice like he was a receiver. It was hilarious. But he would do it to make the point of, if you don't hear what I'm saying, I'm going to illustrate it for you. I'm going to go out and show you what I'm looking for. And I don't think Jalen Hurts is that kind of guy. He's pretty smooth. He doesn't seem to be an in-your-face guy. He does seem to be a strong lead-by-example type. And so if he's not going to do it, I think somebody has to say, hey, this is what we're missing. This is what the offense is. And as an aside, Mike, I don't know if you've noticed this. I think athletes tend to guess what fans and media are looking for. So they've developed a response, and it seems like they're saying something, but they're really not saying anything. So what do we say? Fans and media, we always say, hey, take responsibility for this. All right, stand up, be accountable. And so they come out and say, I take accountability. But there's a follow-up question. Accountability for what? Be more specific. It's easy to say I'm accountable. What are you accountable for? what are you confessing to? You're just giving me a talking point, but you're not really saying anything. And I think that's what Jalen Hurts did there. I take accountability.
They asked him about his interception. He said it was a bad ball. I don't think they got down into the granular because if you're covering the game, if you're in the press box, I mean, I don't know that anybody had even acted. You're in a storm of activity after a game. But the next time he meets with reporters, I don't know if it's still going to be relevant by then, but maybe Nick Sirianni meets with reporters today. Like, what happened on that play where A.J. Brown looked to be open down the seam? Why wouldn't it, like, who's the first read on that play? Who's the second read? Did he look at A.J. Brown and look away from him? Those are all things that you need more information in the moment to properly articulate. And it does make it easier to just use cliches and canned answers to stick handle your way around reporters who may not have all the ammunition they would need in order to grill you the way they'd like to. So you can get through it. You can just get through it. Recite a few sayings not nearly as compelling as the average phrase that comes out of Mike Tomlin's mouth, and just keep going. I got one other point that I want to make. I'm the last one to make fashion observations. But, by the way, do you like my new, and this is, you can't see it. I love yours. I got the old school Adidas 3-leaf on here, but it's all
I see it.
Textured. The stripes are on here. They're all textured. It's kind of like velvet. I feel like Costanza, who would drape himself in velvet if it were socially acceptable. I love this thing. My son got it for me. I love it. And the message was the ones you have kind of suck. Here's a nice one.
No, that is really sweet. That is vintage. That's going back to, I feel like you should put on like some of the breakers used to do, some of the break dancers put on the old Herbie Hancock song. I think it was Rocket.
Wow.
They put on a Herbie Hancock song and they'd start the little moves and then you get the cardboard out and start breakdancing.
I got plenty of cardboard.
I am looking for, that's what I'm looking for today from you, Mike Florio. A little breakdance before the show's over.
Hey, Olympic event, or at least it was. Okay, but that was all a precursor to this. I don't know how many times you can show up with that hat if you're Jalen Hurts. Because he had it on Sunday. I don't think that's a hat you can pull off on a regular basis. And by the way, the hat's got bad juju. You wore it Sunday and you lost. Like, that hat gets burned. It doesn't get worn again. Am I wrong?
He's the only one who could pull it off. He's the only one who could pull it off.
We were talking about Belichick on Monday. I see you put that hat on Belichick. He's Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the I'm in charge. You know, I got something for you, something wonderful for you. I'm cooking up in the Master Chef Jalen Hurts. Yeah, it's probably a 1%er hat, Mike. Only 1% of the population can really pull that thing off. I think he's pulling it off with the win. With the win, I think it plays better. And a loss
always looks better with the win. Everything looks better when the Bengals finally made it to the Super Bowl in 21, Sims, who had been railing against the Bengals uniforms for as long as I've known him, all of a sudden, hey, you know what? Those uniforms don't look so bad anymore. No.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.